Hi, I'm Danny Gonzales, and this is IndustrialSage Headlines. Well, we've got truly significant news for American manufacturing this week, and we're taking a deeper dive because this is kind of a game changer. So Congress has passed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that you have no doubt heard about, and it's designed to powerfully boost domestic investment, production, and innovation. So first, let's talk about the bonus depreciation. This was a critical provision in the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that allowed businesses to immediately deduct 100% of the cost of new equipment or machinery. But that 100% deduction stopped in 2021. It's been phasing down by 20% each year. So this year in 2025, for example, if you were buying new equipment, you could only deduct 40% of its cost in the first year, then it would be amortized after that. This new bill restores that 100% bonus depreciation. And so what does that mean specifically for you? That means that when you purchase that new CNC machine, that advanced robotic arm, a new assembly line, or even invest in large-scale projects, you can immediately deduct the full cost of that investment. And this is going to free up a lot of capital, making it significantly more attractive to buy new state-of-the-art equipment and expand your operations right here in the U.S., essentially unlocking and enabling more manufacturing capabilities. Now, let's pair that with being able to now write off 100% of R&D expenses in the year that they're incurred as well. In addition to another tax credit that not all manufacturers will qualify for, but the Advanced Manufacturing Investment Credit under Section 48D. These are going to help manufacturers in their growth, in their investments and innovation. So, talking about the R&D expense, since 2022, companies were forced to amortize domestic R&D expenses over 5 years, which was kind of a big impact to cash flow, just like with the being able to write off capital expenditures that you're having. This bill is reversing that. So if you're developing new manufacturing processes, investing in automation technologies to address labor challenges, or conducting R&D to reshore production domestically and a whole host of other things, you can now fully deduct those expenses in the year that they occur. Additionally, with the expansion of that Advanced Manufacturing Investment Credit, Section 48D, this opens up even more opportunities for tax savings. Those are going to be a little bit more specific to the semiconductor industry, but even if you're helping from a fabrication standpoint or your supplier down the line, some of that can apply. For all these different initiatives and different tax credits and deductions, obviously talk to your CPA and your financial folks and legal for their full insights on those. But at the end of the day, it's not about tax credits and tax breaks. It's really about a strategic move to encourage investment in American infrastructure with technology and with jobs. And with the persistent labor challenges that we face across the industry, investing in automation and new efficient technologies is a big answer. And these R&D tax credits and bonus depreciation provide a powerful incentive to do exactly that. And it's about empowering manufacturers to innovate, expand, and compete more effectively on the global stage. So, manufacturers, your new machinery just got a whole lot more affordable, and your R&D efforts just got a lot more of a powerful tailwind. Before we dive into some specific trade agreements making headlines, let's take a quick look at the overall tariff landscape impact that's impacting manufacturers right now. So overall, the United Nations Trade Agency came out and noted that the Trump administration recently extended the deadline for tariffs, the new tariffs, to take effect originally from July 9th. Now it's August 1st, with some specific deadlines for certain countries like China. So for China, the U.S. currently has a 30% reciprocal tariff on most Chinese imports, which was temporarily reduced from that 145% for 90 days as of May 14th. This temporary reduction is set to expire soon, which will be in the August timeframe, for further action or potential increases of up to 70%, and a broader 10% baseline tariff on most imports, with additional tariffs on steel and aluminum now 50%. Now let's go to Canada. They have imposed 25% retaliatory tariffs on approximately $30 billion worth of U.S. goods since March 4th. This is in response to the U.S. earlier imposing a 25% tariff on Canadian steel and 10% on aluminum, which has since been increased globally to 50% for most countries. Though Canada's situation specifically is still under negotiation with a July 21st deadline for resolution of the 50% aluminum tariff. Lots going on there. And as we'll hear more about that, the U.S. just established new tariffs on Vietnamese exports. 20% on most goods, and a significant 40% on goods deemed transshipped from other countries through Vietnam. This dynamic environment means every shift, every new agreement, or every retaliatory move directly impacts supply chains and manufacturing costs. So let's dig a little deeper into Vietnam's new trade deal. Following that broader overview, let's focus on a significant development in global supply chains. The U.S. announced a new trade framework with Vietnam just last week. This deal, effective on July 2nd, introduces a 20% tariff on most Vietnamese exports to the U.S., a substantial shift, replacing their previous lower preferential rates. But even more critically for manufacturers, it includes a steeper 40% penalty on goods deemed transshipped, which is essentially products with a significant content from third countries, primarily China, that pass through Vietnam to avoid higher tariffs. This sends a very strong signal that the U.S. is increasingly scrutinizing the true origin of imported products to prevent tariff evasion. For manufacturers who've diversified their supply chains into Vietnam as a China plus one strategy, this means new complexities and heightened scrutiny. Companies will need to audit their sourcing strategies, ensure substantial transformation rules are met, and meticulously validate country of origin labels to avoid these new potentially costly penalties. Now, while the deal does offer U.S. exports like large engine vehicles and agricultural products without a tariff, the emphasis for importers is clearly on stricter compliance. Diversifying your supply chain just got another layer of complexity, and regulators are watching very closely. Let's check in on the pulse of U.S. manufacturing, and the picture remains a mixed bag, to be honest. The manufacturing ISM report on business for June of 2025 shows the sector's PMI at 49%. Now, while this is still below the 50% mark that signifies expansion, this does represent a 0.5 percentage point increase from May's 48.5%, suggesting a slower rate of contraction over the last 2 months. We're seeing some positive internal shifts. Notably, production jumped to 50.3% in June, pushing it back into expansion territory. And new export orders also saw a significant improvement. However, the overall sentiment points to a continued complexities. Manufacturers are still grappling with various headwinds, including tariff uncertainties, which continue to impact sales and procurement decisions. So, while these internal improvements offer some optimism, there's no absolute way of knowing what tomorrow holds. The sector continues to navigate a challenging landscape, with businesses focusing on resilience and adaptability. So, shifting gears to long-term energy solutions, a significant step forward for advanced nuclear power and industrial applications, X-Energy and Dow Chemical are making progress on their proposed small modular reactor, the XE100, for Dow's facility on the Texas Gulf Coast. The U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or NRC, just published an 18-month review schedule for the construction permit application. This is a crucial milestone for SMRs, which are seen as carbon-free source of high-temperature steam and heat, essential for energy-intensive industrial processes like chemical manufacturing, petroleum refining, and even hydrogen production. This project aims to set a new standard for deploying nuclear at scale, offering stable, clean power that can greatly reduce industrial emissions and strengthen U.S. energy independence. Turns out small nuclear reactors might just be the big solution for industrial power. Our final headline today connects two of the biggest trends in industry: artificial intelligence and energy. As AI models become more complex and data centers grow, their energy demands are skyrocketing. This is leading to a fascinating development. Big tech giants like Microsoft and Google are reportedly partnering with nuclear energy providers like the XE100, X-Energy, to secure long-term sustainable power solutions for their massive data centers and AI model training. This strategic shift isn't just about meeting demand. It's about addressing AI's growing carbon footprint and rising operating costs. Experts suggest this trend could reshape future energy infrastructure, demonstrating how the relentless pursuit of AI advancements is now directly influencing decisions in the traditional energy sector, including a renewed look at nuclear power as a clean, reliable backbone. From data centers to nuclear fission, AI is electrifying the energy world in unexpected ways. Well, and that does it for today's Industrial Sage headlines. I'm Danny Gonzales. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe. Whether you're watching on YouTube or on our website, make sure that you jump in our email list so we can get these insights to you every 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.